Good to have you with us in the 8 p.m. edition of the Urban Debate. Tonight, we're going to focus yet again on free speech and on artists in this country. Actors, singers, filmmakers, writers, poets, stand-up comics. All kinds of artists who are constantly facing a threat over the content that they make. Threat by those who are intolerant to the kind of content they don't like. The unfortunate part is that in state after state, it is the state, it is the police, it is the establishment and the government that is letting them down. It's not a one incident or two incident in a year situation anymore. This is what's happening in our country every day in one part or the other. It could be an advertisement, it could be a brand, it could be a store, it could also be the artists behind those creatives, somebody who's just writing content and putting it down, somebody whose job is to make us laugh, whose job is to write jokes to make us laugh. That person is also being targeted in this country repeatedly. Munawar Farooqui is not new to controversy. A few years ago, some of his bits online were discovered by this intolerant brigade. And then the controversy began and it erupted. Shortly after that, Munawar Farooqui was then arrested and spent several days in jail before he could get out. And now, 3 of his shows in the city of Mumbai on October 29th, 30th and 31st have been cancelled. The organizers have had to call off the show after a threat from allegedly the Bajrang Dal unit that actually came from Gujarat. Such is their hate for this man that they actually came all the way to Mumbai to threaten the venue and the organizers in 2 different locations, and said, we will not allow this show to go on. Now, while of course everybody says you have to come to terms with such a situation, that every now and then somebody or other will want to get some attention, make some noise, but it shouldn't stop us from going on and speaking our minds or even delivering a joke. What happens, viewers, when the state doesn't stand by you? Irrespective of which party is in power in that state, irrespective of which ideology that party follows, irrespective of whether you're on the same side or not, what happens when the state and the police doesn't stand by you? Because in this case, the police, while giving a warning to the fringe group that threatened to burn down the venue, the police also gave a notice to the organizers. They gave a notice to the organizers and said, if there is a law and order problem, then we will hold you responsible for it. And so the shows were cancelled. Munawar Farooqui took to social media to say, I am cancelling these shows because your safety is more important to me. I don't want you to go what I am going through. Despite the fact that he was jailed even before he could crack a joke in Madhya Pradesh, this youngster went on, moved on in life, continued with his comedy. And he's not going to stop even now. Today he wasn't allowed to perform at a physical location. He will take to the internet and figure a way out. And then the other side will again protest, again do drama, get a complaint filed and continue with this harassment. Where is the state? Tonight I am asking this question. Why are we giving these people a free run to intimidate artists and to destroy art in our country? Why is the state silent? Why is the state silent while art is slowly being killed in our country? I say good evening to Manjul, editorial cartoonist who's joining me this evening, Dilip Cherian, PR guru, Anurag Naidu, social activist, Sujata Paul, a political analyst, Fawzia Arshi, music composer, and Arvind Kumar Jain, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. I also want to highlight the fact that we wanted political representatives to be on this show. We wanted somebody from the Maha Aghadi to be on this show and the BJP, such that we could ask them this question. How is it that the police is not saying, go ahead and we will take care of it? And in state after state, in instance after instance, it is the artists who are having to suffer, and you and I, who would want to see their content, who are having to lose out. Let me start off by going across to Mr. Dilip Cherian. Mr. Cherian, you know, I think often the noise that gets generated is about one intolerant side. But it has now become a trend where no party, no state wants to stand up for this.
Tanvi, the anxiety that all of us should fear and worry about is that the fence is now threatening to eat the farm. So the state, which is supposed to be the bulwark of maintaining law and order, is chickening out from that task and instead wants to take the view that, hey, we don't want you to do anything because we apprehend that there will be problems. Therefore, shut your halls, shut your mouth, and stay at home. That's the big anxiety. The Constitution actually provides a remedy which says that you cannot threaten the livelihood of an individual. In this case, a comedian makes a livelihood out of her jokes, out of his act, out of what they do. And here you have, it doesn't matter which state it is or what political content is their belief system. What needs to be understood is that there is a role for art, for performance art in any growing society. Even more so in a society which is young. Young people love this art form of stand-up comedy. What is happening is that you are sending out a message that if you want to do this kind of art form, do it only within certain lines which are drawn in sand. They can be shifted by almost any militant group which chooses to rear its ugly head. The fact is that that line is not drawn anywhere which is visible, and they can actually shut you up. So we are leading towards a situation where the state cannot be relied upon to perform its function, and where young people are increasingly feeling choked and repressed. This is not just a patriarchy, it's a choking off of all kinds of ideas, creative, amusing, provocative, everything. So I think that's what we should be really anxious and concerned about.
Yes, in fact, let me bring in Manjul on this as well. Since he is, he's a cartoonist, his job also is to speak about the truth in a way that he wants to express it. How difficult is this, Manjul? And when you see such instances, what is your reaction?
Hi, Tanvi. See, the thing is, I personally feel that whatever Bajrang Dal has done, especially in this Munawwar Farooqui case, is a good thing actually. Because this is what anybody would do to stymie his competition. Because see, the way government ministers talk, the way we hear about news stories, the government itself has a competition with the stand-up comics. So it's very difficult for these guys to compete with the stand-up comics. They don't want any stand-up comic to perform. They don't want any cartoonist to perform. They don't want any humorist to perform. So this is the only way they know to shell off the competition. I think Bajrang Dal has done a wonderful job. And what else we can expect from a state where a party which is ruling there, and the party is known for their muscle politics. So I seriously doubt that Shiv Sena government or MVA government, Shiv Sena is a part of it, will do anything to stop this kind of elements.
Yeah, in fact, you're absolutely right, and sometimes people tend to forget. But there have been many instances where at the very same venue, it's actually been those linked to the Shiv Sena who've gone and resorted to vandalism, resorted to intimidation, and you know, irrespective of how much the Shiv Sena leadership wants us to believe that they are a new party, that they don't resort to that kind of a strategy anymore. When you stay silent and now allow others to do so, when you are in power and you allow somebody else to come and shut down comedy shows, and in fact your police tells them, you better do this, otherwise we will hold you responsible if something goes wrong, then how can anybody believe that they're any different from any other political party or from what they were in their past? Sujata Paul, Maha Aghadi continues to constantly tell us how they're different from the BJP. In fact, let me just give you instances of the Congress party. A similar incident when it took place in Gujarat, it was Mr. Shashi Tharoor who took to Twitter and he spoke about how it is not okay for us to shut down such shows. He said if your freedom of speech is not allowed in a university, because that event was supposed to take place in a university, Shashi Tharoor tweeted, the shameful news of Kunal Kamra's show at a university was cancelled on the grounds that his views are anti-national. If a university is not a citadel of freedom of expression, what is it? Recently, when a similar attack took place on the sets of a movie ashram in Madhya Pradesh, the Congress party raised it again and asking question, where is the state? What are you doing? So is the Congress party's solution to tell people to shut it down before an attack takes place, because then it's not our responsibility? How different is it what we have done in Mumbai today?
Absolutely correct, Tanvi, and I'm so glad that you've taken up this issue, because youngsters, if they are stifled, we are not going to be a progressive society. We are not allowing our youngsters to think, because it is very important for youngsters to allow themselves to release their emotions in the manner in which they want. And how is it that if there is some kind of comic relief that all of us can get, you know, the governments are not standing up and standing with our youngsters who are stand-up comedians or in any sphere where there is some humor coming in. So I definitely stand with you on this as far as the Maha Vikas Aghadi is concerned. Any government for that matter has no business to stifle the voices of youngsters.
But that's what Maha Aghadi government is doing right now in the city of Mumbai. And the Congress party is very much part of this alliance and the government the last time I checked.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sure that, you know, when you are taking this up, there will be others who will take it up. And I'm sure the Maha Vikas Aghadi, because they are in power, they will be made to realize that this is their duty. If there are unsocial elements, and these are anti-social elements, for God's sake. I mean, look at this Bajrang Dal leader, Swaljit Mehta, who warned a Gujarati boy, Munawwar Farooqi, from visiting Gujarat. He told him not to visit Gujarat. Who the hell is he to do that? VHP, Sriraj Nair, takes to Twitter and there is nobody to say a word to him. And the government should be taken to task. The government must ask questions of the police, which went to the site and questioned the organizers and told them that if there is some untoward incident, they will be held responsible. Well, it is the police which is supposed to be held responsible. And I hope that all of us together can create pressure on them so that, you know, such an incident doesn't happen again. And a last thing, Munawwar Farooqi has been arrested earlier, and that was because of a BJP MLA's son, Malini Lakshman Singh's Gaur's son, Eklavya Singh Gaur. He merely accused Munawwar, but has anything happened to that boy who accused him? Nothing. So I think that the government needs to wake up. All governments need to wake up, and we must not allow this to happen in our country. I stand with you.
Let me try and bring in Mr. Arvind Kumar Jain on this. Mr. Jain, The police is now telling us that, well, we are not responsible if there is a law and order situation. A handful of people, a group, come and threaten to burn down that place and we give in. Is that what police force, at least for a city like Mumbai, is that what they are capable of? They give in to such kind of threats?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you that police protection should be provided for such functions. But festival season is going on. And if there is apprehension that some lumpen elements of a Bajrang Dal, Vishwa Hindu Parishad and others, they will create a ruckus at the place. There might be arson, it might lead to lathi charge or other such law and order issues. Then naturally police is very wary of such things. And they want to avoid the issue, avoid problem. I know this is the problem with police, but generally they don't get extra force when it is asked for from other districts, because the other districts will not send force on festivals are going on. And this is the festival season for the entire country. So generally police avoids such functions which will lead to violence, which will lead to protests, serious protests. And although you see Congress's part, and NCP has the Home Minister in Maharashtra government. Home Minister is from NCP. But naturally, they are not providing protection because they know that there will be trouble. This boy has earned that kind of reputation that he speaks something against gods and goddesses.
No, but there will be trouble. It is up for the governments to actually ensure that there isn't trouble. It is actually for the police force, and a police force so skilled as that of Mumbai, capable of handling underworld dons and terrorists and all kinds of other criminals, is scared because of a bunch of people from Bajrang Dal. How do I accept that? Or I assume that every government is of the view that such jokes and such comedy should just not happen.
Yes, this is unfortunately the state of affairs. And because I have been noticing all this since retirement, I have seen all this, that such shows generally are discouraged, which will lead to violence, which will lead to law and order issues, especially during festival season when there is not much of availability of the force. Force is busy with the other functions. So naturally, they want to avoid such functions, which it is known that there will be trouble. And in this case, either the person who has got threats, he should lodge complaint so that action can be taken against these people. Otherwise, police, I don't think police will go out of the way to hunt for those people who have given threats.
No, but okay, you are right. That's what one would assume. But in this case, as per the story reported by Indian Express, they say that the police was informed and the police issued a warning to Bajrang Dal to not get into any kind of a law and order issue. But they also issued a notice to the organizers that if there is one, we will hold you responsible. So you washed your hands from both ends. हमने इसको भी बोल दिया कि तू मत कर भाई, पर हमने इसको भी बोल दिया कि तू शो ही मत कर. तो प्रॉब्लम ही खत्म. हमें अपने काम करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. If there is no show, then Bajrang Dal is also happy. We are also satisfied. We have to not do our job. Everybody can go back home, except of course the comedian, because nobody really cares about him. He is already so controversial. Why have anything to do with him? He is already controversial. That's the point, Sujata Paul. Is that what it is? We don't want to be seen linked to him or protecting him or saving him?
Tanvi, you know, I feel very sad listening to former DGP, Mr. Jain, because it's very clear, you know, what he's talking about also points to the state of affairs in any part of the country as far as the police is concerned. The police does not want to get into this. What do you mean that the police is not going to go hunt for them? When such a thing is happening, it is very important that such a program is allowed to take place, and it is ensured that such a program, was allowed to happen. Because if the police cannot protect people where, invitations are going or tickets are being sold, that means that the police is incapable. And that is the state of affairs. If the Constitution allows us to think individually, if the Constitution gives us the right to freedom of speech, it is the duty of the state to ensure that every single person is allowed to perform and earn his living in the manner in which he wants to, as far as stand-up comedians is concerned. But I can see very clearly that the mindset.
But Sujata Pohal, Mr. Jain is actually just stating the reality, yes, which is also happening in Maharashtra. So I don't know why you are, questioning him.
No, I'm not.
He is stating the reality which is also happening today in Maharashtra. The police is not going and catching these people. Every other part where if the state government wants and the police wants, preemptively we detain people. Preemptively, we will go and detain Priyanka Gandhi if she is going to meet victims and we feel there will be a law and order situation. Preemptively, we will detain protesters, youngsters on the road because we think there will be a law and order situation. And in this case, preemptively, we are not detaining these guys. We are actually requesting them to not do anything while shutting down the event.
That is exactly what I'm saying. I'm not questioning Mr. Jain, but what I'm saying is, what he's saying is indicative of the manner in which police acts, and more importantly, the manner in which the state acts. Because it is the state's responsibility now in this case that they ensure that the program is conducted. How can you expect a young boy who was arrested for a crime that he did not commit, for making people laugh in the month of January, will go ahead with his program? I think what he has done is something which is showing the state of affairs in the country today, whether it is in Maharashtra or Gujarat or Uttar Pradesh or Delhi or anywhere. Such an act should be condemned and the state should be taken to task, because it is the state's duty to pull up their police officers for not being able to allow such a program to happen. This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, let me bring in Anurag Naidu, who's on this panel. Anurag, irrespective of what ideology you have, irrespective of what political leaning you have, at the end of the day, the state's responsibility is to protect all citizens. Now, what does this incident then tell us?
Of course, it is state's responsibility, and that's why the police is being absolutely responsible in advising to cancel the show. Some of our panelists is kind of imposing their personal opinion, which is very objectionable because they know very little about the law and order, it seems, and it's very apparent that they don't know the nuances of dealing with the social issues. You be in the shoes of the police and you know how difficult it is to manage the crowd. We are in the Diwali season. The police, half of them are on vacation. Let them enjoy their Diwalis. It's not their duty to come and guard some gentleman who's already having a controversial image, who's been arrested. And of course, some of the panelists was telling, oh, he's not a victim. He's being kind of, attacked for no reason. It's not our duty to do that. We have law and order in this country. We have courts to tell. We don't want somebody to tell that, oh, he's innocent. What's your local standard to say that somebody's innocent? Let the police do their job. And I'll tell you one thing. There are
sorry, I'm really trying to understand this. What do you mean? What is your local standard to understand if he's innocent? The man's not cracked a joke yet. Before he cracks a joke, you either arrest him or stop his show. So what are we talking about?
It's so naive now. Tanvi, it's so naive. We have seen his jokes. It's
I
all
have.
there on YouTube.
I don't find anything offensive.
Of course. Then ask the police of Madhya Pradesh why they.
I also know that the people who've objected in the past to a lot of the comedians have not even seen their content. I also know that, and it's the hard truth.
You should actually gang up with this, some of the panelists and go and file in the court and stand for this gentleman. Why don't you stand for that? I'm saying religious jokes are a big no in this country where we have very sensitive issues and we've burnt our fingers in the past. All of us know what happens when we deal or when we mess up with the religious issues. Let's not go there and let's be come on, we are in the Diwali season, right? And let us not push police, because police has their own assessments. We don't know what that assessment is.
I mean,
if they've done it for
I must hand it out to some of the people out there, including Anurag, of how you are able to link everything to Diwali. An ad which was about a cricket fan team preparing to celebrate when their cricket team wins became about Diwali and firecrackers. Now, a comedian's event in a city, in a cosmopolitan city like Mumbai, over 3 days, a week before Diwali, is also now suddenly about Diwali, and he can't crack any jokes because somebody's sentiments might get hurt. Fawzia Arshi also joins me this evening. Fawzia,
just because Mumbai is cosmopolitan,
to me,
the law of the
you
land
know, the
remains
only
same.
takeaway is that, and I'm not surprised that Bajrang Dal is offended, or there's some people who are going to sit and justify how people's sentiments get hurt over a joke. To me, what is concerning is that state after state is shrugging responsibility and saying, we can't protect you anymore. I think you're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me
yeah.
now? Yep. There was a dialogue written by Javed Akhtar and said by Amitabh Bachchan, where Amitabh Bachchan says, "Khush to bahut hoge tum," and he is fighting with God. You know, I think that writer, that producer, that actor should be put behind the bars in today's day. I mean, they should be summoned. That how the hell did you question God? See, number one, everybody has to understand that right now, whatever is happening in the country, everybody has become intolerant. So people should not talk stupidity. They should not talk anything against anybody which can hurt somebody's sentiment. Why you have to talk about? There are so many things to talk about in the world. There's so many things. Not only, you know, you're targeting some community, or it's both wise. It's vice versa. It's both the communities. Now, this is one point I want to say. Other point, that what I say, that you should summon all those writers, producers, and actors who have been doing all this. This is for the first time in life that this is happening in our entertainment industry. That entire politics has come into this, targeting this very sector. Don't know why. Perhaps everybody wants fame. Anybody who targets these celebrities gets into limelight. They come into, because that must be their hidden agenda to get into politics, to get into famous. The famous are cricketers. The famous are filmmakers. So obviously, people targeting them become famous. My other point is, it is the duty of law and it is the duty of police to question them, and not a particular, you know, Bajrang Dal or somebody or VHP, anybody like this. They should go file the complaint that this is what is going to happen. Okay, now the person was put to jail. He was sent to the jail, whatever the outcome was. Now he's doing a show. So this is really ridiculous. Once the person has mistake, should be given a chance, and we really don't know whether he has made mistake, or whether it was intentional, or whether it was just, you know, just for fun. But yes, I would say that fun doesn't mean to hurt somebody's sentiments. I think people should shut their mouth. They should be out of, you know, questioning or talking about any god or goddess or any community and all this. So they should be stopped. Whatever is happening in India is very, very ridiculous. Nobody has seen in the past such kind of an environment. I don't know why.
So you say, Fawzia, that don't make fun when it's linked to religion. Don't do funny content linked to religion. But where do you draw the line? Can you do TV serials and OTT platforms which are linked to religion? Or can you name your shows, you know, Tandav or Ashram? Can you write songs which are about religion, and maybe, you know, people don't agree with what you're saying? Where will you draw the line as an artist then?
Tanvi, time has gone. Time has changed. People have to change. Now, the right to speech is again under a question for me. That how much you have to speak has become, it's very strange that how much you have to speak. You know, previously it was never anyways. So since now this is happening, and politics is just targeting the film industry, the entertainment industry, and everybody has to keep their mouth shut, draw a line. So everybody is intelligent enough now that where to draw a line. So they should draw a line, and they should keep their mouth shut, and should not talk something like this which is hurting anybody. And one thing more, this is a message I am giving to all the entertainers in the world. There are so many things in the world that you can talk about. Why you have to talk about a community? Why you have to talk about the God? Why? There's so many things. Do that.
The odd thing about, I must also point this out for those who may not have seen his content, but the odd thing about Munawwar's comedy is that he draws from his own experiences. A lot of that content is actually about his own religion and the practices which are there, and then there is some about other religions as well. And I think in some ways he ends up offending people on all sides for that reason. And he is now offending also the fringe groups and the states because he hasn't stopped with his art. He now makes jokes about him being in jail, him getting arrested, because that's his way of dealing with this, moving on and still building his career, still telling jokes. That's what he knows, Manjul. That's his art. That's all he knows, is to make jokes. But for anybody to make jokes or to draw cartoons or to write a song, how do you decide where you want to draw the line? How often does it play on your mind, Manjul?
See, the thing is, I was just listening to this debate, and there are some interesting questions which suddenly popped into my mind. One is that this sentiment business, who will decide that what will hurt, or how much a sentiment can be hurt, or how much it can't be hurt? So this hurting the sentiment, I think hurting somebody physically is a crime. But hurting sentiment, I'm seriously, I don't know how it can be said that this thing hurts my sentiment. Like the people who are talking right now, some of those things hurt my sentiment. When you say that there is freedom of speech, but you should be careful, and you immediately qualify it with a clause saying कि भाई आप ये कह सकते हैं पर ये नहीं कह सकते. So that hurts my sentiment. Just because I'm in minority, only there are say 200 cartoonists. So that doesn't mean the people who are there out there, number of thousands, they can come and beat us up. So, and the other thing is this police business. The police business is very interesting. कि आपने चोर से कहा चोरी करो और आप कह रहे हो कि हम थानेदारी भी करेंगे. So both things cannot go together. See, police need to protect people who are there performing. Now if they're saying that there is Diwali, and so people are shopping out there in the middle of pandemic, and the state is not stopping them. Is that a bigger threat? Or a comedian is the bigger threat? So, see, they can come up with any kind of argument just to justify their actions. And this happened. It's not that this is happening in this government. I've been seeing these kind of events like past 20-25 years. Salman Rushdie was not allowed to come to Jaipur Literary Festival. We all saw that. So, and even yesterday, I think, or today, a girl was arrested in Rajasthan. There is Congress government. 3 students are arrested in Agra for something with the colleges saying that they didn't do anything. So, I think this is only a facade just to tell you कि बॉस ये हो नहीं सकता है और हम लोग इतने ज्यादा बिजी हैं, पुलिस उसमें बिजी है, तो पुलिस तो हमेशा ही बिजी रहेगी. What does that mean? भैया स्टेट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि जो मीक है आपको उसको प्रोटेक्ट करना है, जो पावरफुल है उसको थोड़ी प्रोटेक्ट करना है आपको.
No, you're absolutely right. But if I may, just, to the question that you asked, what about the fact that hearing some of the comments that were made is hurting your sentiments? Manjul, unless and until you say it's hurting your religious sentiments, nobody is going to stand up and care for it. बाकी तो सब अलग है. Religious sentiment है तो बताइए.
नहीं, अगर मान लीजिए कोई आदमी किसी रिलीजन में बिलीव नहीं करता है, तो हर रिलीजियस आदमी उसके सेंटिमेंट को हर्ट कर रहा है. So this is, hurting the sentiment is such a nonsense kind of argument that anybody can give it कि बॉस मेरा आपने मेरी तरफ मुस्कुरा के नहीं देखा, मेरा sentiment hurt हो गया. But it doesn't work like this.
Yeah, I mean, people right now are getting offended if people, artists from another religion are performing in Ram Leela. And I have in Uttar Pradesh grown up watching this, where not only is religion a factor, even your gender isn't. Men will also dress up as women in this Ram Leela, as Sita in the Ram Leela, and perform the whole art. It was, we would go and enjoy it for what the performance they were putting up, and not look into what is the identity of the actor who's on stage. Two people want to make a point. Fawzia Arshi, first to you.
You talked about Ram Leela, Tanveer. One of my very close friends, Shahbaz Khan, played Raman in this Ram Leela. Okay. Now, do you really, I'm asking everybody in the country, if Shahbaz Khan utters wrong dialogue by chance, by mistake, what would you do to him? You will question him that he's a Muslim and he's deliberately doing no. See, the tolerance level of the people in this country has gone very down. Ye waqt ka taqaza hai. We have to mind our tongues and we have to mind our language. Actually, when the time will be good, when every Indian will behave like an Indian. We are not behaving like Indians. I don't know what has happened to this beautiful country. There's something wrong. Some poisonous thing has gone into the minds of the people. It is penetrating them. It is provoking them day by day, and things are getting worse. If you talk against the system, if you talk against any government, if you talk against any, anything, and the people in power, they have their gundas also. The people in power, they have their system also to screw you down, to question you, if not directly, then indirectly. So there's something which is what the person who was talking before me was saying, that how do you draw the line, that how to decide that where to draw the line. But yes, we have to draw a line. We have to keep our mouths shut, and we have to wait for the good time to come and talk about each other. This is not the right time to talk something.
What you are saying is the realization that you've made for yourself. But honestly, Dileep Cherian, this is also my fear, that we are gradually adapting to this new reality and changing ourselves, because the environment, we believe, is becoming more intolerant. And I'll just give this Munawwar's example yet again, Mr. Cherian. When he got arrested in Madhya Pradesh, there was much conversation and outrage. 3 of his shows, post-pandemic, just about when things are opening up, 3 of his shows have been shut down. There is barely a word being uttered by people. Maybe we've just gotten used to this new normal. Mr. Cherian.
Tanvi, my anxiety is, as a communications professional, my anxiety is that there is a cycle of communication, excitement and enthusiasm in the life of an individual citizen. Young people have the exuberance to express themselves in a manner which always is antagonistic to what society stands for. That is what being in your teens and being young is about. So that is why you find that at these comedy shows, the majority of people are from the age of college or just past college in their first jobs. At that time of your life, it's well recorded by psychologists that that is the process of growing up to becoming a citizen. Now, what Fawzia is talking about is actually saying that, look, now for this period of time, shut up and put up. But young people don't think that way. And I think that the state understands that. And today, the impact on urban youth is that many of the opportunities they had of expressing themselves are now going online. The fact is that when the state is giving up its space, you will find that this moves underground. So you had an underground kind of movement, and that is equally unhealthy for a society. So from my perspective, as somebody who talks and understands communications, I would say that without hurting sentiments, you cannot actually takraw against the beliefs of your society. So I think this is something we need to be conscious about. Young people need to be given that space so that we can create a mature, unified society in which all these arguments and excitement and exuberance has been exuded when they are young, and then we move into a society which is beginning the process of growth. So there is no escape from the fact that humorists, cartoonists, filmmakers, stand-up comedians are all an important part of modern society as we understand it.
Yes, they are absolutely reflective of the current society, of the the creativity that we have in our society, the way we are headed. All of that is reflective, and it is important to have that commentary. It's dangerous to actually start shutting down that commentary as well. Sujata Paul wanted to make a point, and then I have a question for Mr. Jain. Yes, Sujata.
You know, we were a country where Taslima Nasreen, came. Why? Because she was being targeted. When we were growing up, we heard about Salman Rushdie being targeted for Midnight Children and then Shame, which he wrote about, in which he wrote about the Pakistani leaders. Now, what Fawzia has said is really concerning because it shows that she's trying to say that we need to think before we speak. We need to bind ourselves in certain limits. But we are a country which should be progressive because we have the younger, a huge young population. If we do not allow children to speak up, children to crack jokes, we are going to make a society where, youngsters will have a lot of issues later on in life because these will all be, these will go unvented. And this is not what this country requires. If we want to question beliefs, it is important to allow children to think and to let their minds, come out through their tongues. But that's what we are stopping. So I think it's very concerning. And I have to thank you for having this program today. And I hope that you will continue to take up this issue because I stand with Munawwar Farooq.
No, so I ask you this question. Can I expect the party that you so wholeheartedly support and the party leadership to come out and speak about it, or will they not because this is happening in Maharashtra?
Spoke about Mr. Shashi Tharoor, and I am part of the All India Professional Congress. I'm the Uttarakhand Vice President. So I can tell you that in the Congress, most of us think like you.
Yes, and but we choose to speak up only when it happens in BJP governed states.
No. If it has happened now, we will be speaking up. And I can assure you that we will do that. As far as the Maha Vikas Aghadi government is concerned, there are other people over there. But of course, if even one person is speaking, there will be pressure on the government. And I hope that the Congress party in the state of Maharashtra will also question this particular issue.
Let me go across to Mr. Jain. Mr. Jain, I come back to the point that we, Fawzia was also making earlier about how the generations have changed, the society has changed, and we need to watch out for what we say. Do you believe that this is actually what is happening, that we have changed, or this is always there in the minds of people? Some have just found the strength to assert themselves and their ideas a lot more.
I can comment on the viewpoint of police. Police will never allow a function, I know it very well, where something is said against a particular religion, be it Islam, be it Christianity, be it Hinduism or Sikhism. So they are very wary of such functions because if there is going to be a law and order problem, explanation will be called from the district police, from the district SP, from the DCP, that why this kind of function was allowed. So this is the situation today on the ground. We might discuss it for hours and hours on television sets, but this is the thing. No police officer will allow something to be said against Islam or against Prophet or against Christianity or against Hinduism in any of these functions because they know that it will invite trouble, it will invite a lot of criticism, that why this function was allowed.
But why?
And
let me ask you this, Mr. Jain, since you're speaking as a police officer and an expert there, You would have seen such instances or threats that were issued, and people who threatened action and violence or to burn places down if such content is done. Who are these people? These are not, the regular Aam Aadmi sitting and watching a comedy show or watching a TV show, going about their regular daily job, 9 to 6 job kiya, ghar aaye, family hai, family ke saath baithe. I don't see those people coming out on roads and threatening law and order issues. The people who are doing this are motivated, politically motivated, looking for attention. So why should we allow them to get away with it?
No, society will have to take a decision. Society in general will have to take a decision that such elements, they are not to be heard, they have to be put down, and they have to come out in open and in support of police. Nobody speaks out in favor of police at that time. I had such experiences in the past when I was in service, because nobody will speak out for police. They will say that it's the duty of the police to handle such matters. So naturally, police also tries to take a safe route that there should be no trouble at all. And nothing should be said against any religion, which will invite legal cases later on, which will lead to law and order issues. So this is the situation. Whether you accept it or not, we might criticize police on channels, but the reality is that none of the police officers will have guts to allow such a function to take place, knowing fully well that there will be trouble, there will be ruckus. Some people might have already entered the crowd, and there might be arson, there might be brickbatting or something. And later on, naturally, then it leads to a lot of trouble. We had organized some cultural programs in which there was trouble, although very famous singers had come. But later on, it was, I was asked why this permission was given unnecessarily. Crowd was more than 1 lakh. Why did you people give permission? The police has nothing to do else but to organize cultural programs, to musical functions. So all this is there. How much money was taken for law and order bandobast from the organizer? Why was it not taken? So many issues crop up later on, and even explanation is called from the government that who gave you the authority to organize such a function? So these are the ground realities.
Okay, so what you've raised, understandably, yes, the police has to look out for, what they have to say when they are asked questions. They're answerable at the end of the day to the establishment. And so it boils down to the establishment. It boils down to the government, the state, the ministers in charge. If they ask these questions, they're the ones who are going to ask these questions to the police. Ki ye kaise ho gaya? And that's why this response is coming, Manjul. So at the end of the day, it's the state who has to send the message that no, either artists are safe in our city or they are not. Often it is said that in a city like Mumbai, they are safe. You can make your films, you can make your TV shows, you can crack your jokes, you can sing your songs. But now I'm seeing that like every other part, even here this is happening.
I think this debate was quite enlightening for me, actually. I have realized two things. One is, like, to protect freedom of speech, we should stop speaking. That is the one thing I have realized. Okay, and the other thing, that police angle, that is quite interesting, actually. So the thing is, if you go out and something happens to you, the police will ask you, why did you come out? Why didn't you stay at home? You should have stayed at home. So boss, एक काम करिए, आप lockdown करवा दीजिए, because lockdown was the period there were no crimes. Okay, so आप complete lockdown करवा दीजिए, उसमें लोग रहेंगे, बहुत safe रहेंगे, और पुलिस भी बहुत आराम से रहेगी. वो कोई दूध वगैरह लेने जाएगा तो उसको पकड़ के डंडे मारेगी. तो उन लोगों की भी लाइफ बहुत ईज में रहेगी. ज्यादा क्या होगा, जो लोग निकलेंगे कमजोर बेचारे लोग, उनको वो पीट लेगी, और बाकी जो पैसे वाले लोग निकलेंगे वो पुलिस वालों को पीट लेंगे. तो कंट्री को आप इस तरह से चलाना चाहते हो? जस्ट रिडिकुलस काइंड ऑफ आर्ग्यूमेंट्स. दिस इज द टाइम. See, the thing is, state should support the powerless, not the powerful. 10 लोग खड़े होकर कहीं हल्ला करने लगेंगे और आप ये कहेंगे कि साहब इनकी बात सुनी जानी चाहिए क्योंकि ये लोग 10 लोग हैं और ये हल्ला कर रहे हैं और एक आदमी जो कमजोर है वो हल्ला नहीं कर रहा है। रात में आप बाहर निकले, आपको कोई लूट ले, पुलिस वाले आपसे पूछेंगे कि भाई आप रात में क्या कर रहे थे यहाँ पे इतनी रात में? ये दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ आर्गुमेंट आई हैव बीन हियरिंग फॉर पास्ट लाइक 20 मिनट्स।
वो ये लोग एक महीने से हल्ला कर रहे हैं, हम ये होने नहीं देंगे। गुजरात में बैठ के they have been issuing threats sitting in Gujarat. We will not allow this man. First they said we will not allow you to perform in Gujarat. Then they said, wait a minute, we can always travel next door and also create some noise in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, and say we will not allow you to perform even here. And they did that. And we've given in. Completely out of time. But last comment from Fawzia Arshi. Yes.
See, 2-3 days back, Prakash Jha's team was attacked, you know, for Kivai. 3 seasons were made on Ashram, and the 3rd, there's an issue. Okay. Now this is happening. Something is... Again, I'm telling that this is the time wherein we have forgotten that we are Indians. We have become Hindus and Muslims. I am really not concerned what Salman Rushdie says, what Tasleema Nasreen says, because they don't belong to my country. I am concerned about my country, that what is happening in my country. My request to everybody is that you have to mind your tongue. Yes, there are so many things that you can make fun of. Why you have to pinpoint this thing? And that is not freedom. That is not hurting somebody's freedom of speech. Why you have to talk about that? Yes. When somebody is put behind the bars, when you talk against the government, is really very concerning. It is very concerning because we have really right to question the government. And when we are questioning the government, we are in some sort of hot soup, you know. So here, in this case, yes, artists are attacked. Somewhere they have done little mistake, then they are attacked. Somewhere they are unnecessarily. Again, I will repeat that it is just an agenda of those people who are not doing anything, sitting idle, need something that let us target this actor, we will get fame.
Yes, but I don't think we can blame the artist, and I don't think we should be able to dictate what you should and you shouldn't do. That's totally unfair. You can't really put boundaries on the kind of art you want to create, whatever it be. Completely out of time. I'm going to thank the panelists who've joined us, but here is my simple thing. It may be Munawar today, it will be another comedian tomorrow. We've targeted films, we've targeted OTTs, series, we've targeted authors, we've targeted singers, we are now targeting constantly, repeatedly, targeting comedians from Kunal Kamra to Tanmay Bhatt and now Munawar Farooqi. The argument and the common thread there is this whole, we don't like your humor. Sometimes the argument given is it hurts our religious sentiments. More often than not, if you actually ask those people, they wouldn't have even watched it. They would have not watched the content. But their sentiments got hurt. Why? Because that's the only way that they can block something, create some noise, and people will allow them to. States will allow them to, police will allow them to, everybody, 10 more people will stand up with them and say, oh, you're very right, cannot hurt religious sentiments, must not talk about such subjects, please go and talk about something else. Why? If you don't like it, don't watch it and leave it there. No religion in this world gets impacted, damaged because of a joke. Nobody's belief in their own religion gets impacted because of a joke. But what does happen is that we slowly start killing the art of making a joke. Thank you for joining us.